What's up, everybody? I'm Emilia, your mindful marketing expert here at Mindful Body Productions. And today we are going to talk about such an important topic for wellness brands. So if you have a product or service in the health or wellness niche, then this video is for you. Today we are discussing mindful marketing strategies to connecting with your ideal target audience. So if this video resonates for you and you want to learn the top tier strategies to help get your brand up there, get more sales online, and impact more people, then make sure to watch this video to the end because these strategies are foolproof and such an essential piece of any marketing strategy. So get your notebook, get your pen, take some notes. I got my notes right here so that we can stay on task and I can give you the gems of the gems for each of the points that we will talk about, which we will be talking about. First and foremost, understanding your ideal target audience. Secondly, authentic storytelling. Third, building a community. Fourth, creating valuable content. And last but not least, building strategic partnerships so that you can catapult your brand. So why is this important? Let's start with that. This is crucial to understand because of the ever-evolving digital landscape. Consumers today are requiring more trust with brands. They're requiring more connection because the market is so saturated. There's so much junk out there, so much content out there. So competing with other brands makes this a little bit more challenging. Luckily for wellness brands, we're already in a space of presenting authenticity, of presenting these certain levels of standards and ethical values that consumers today are craving more of. So let's get started. First and foremost, understanding your target audience. 9 out of 10 of my clients come to me without a clear understanding of who their ideal target audience is. This is challenging because that is literally the foundation of what makes a brand successful. Because if your communication strategy, if your brand strategy, if your content strategy is not first and foremost clear on who your ideal client audience is, then implementing these strategies will be very challenging. One thing that a lot of my clients struggle with is they focus on talking about the technicalities of what they do. And most people out there that are looking for solutions, they don't really understand that certain technical things like acupuncture or Reiki or essential oils or whatever you might be selling will be the solution to their problem. So this is why we need to understand beyond their demographics, which is their age, where they live, maybe their ethnicity, if that's kind of like an angle that you're taking with your brand. Beyond that, we need to understand the psychographics of your ideal client audience. So what is a psychographic? That is the desire of the ideal client. That is understanding their fears, understanding what keeps them up at night, what are their goals, what are they interested in. These tendencies are so important to understand because people buy based on emotion, okay? So if someone is struggling with pain, they don't care or they don't really understand if you're saying, oh, well, if we're talking about this channel and then opening up this channel with this method will help the blood flow. Those are technicalities. We need to talk about pain directly, how we can directly impact that. So we need to be solution oriented. And for us to be able to do that, we need to understand the needs, the desires, the fears, what keeps up our ideal target audience at night. So if you haven't done this already, I urge you to develop your ideal client profile. You can do this using ChatGPT. So if you're interested in me sharing a prompt with you, comment below and I'll share that prompt with you personally. So you can develop your ideal client audience utilizing AI. Point number 2, authentic storytelling. Storytelling is such an important part because people want to connect with the brand. If you're just sharing promotional posts, if you're just sharing, this is what I did today, and you're not really crafting a story around it, utilizing your ideal client profile, then how can people really connect with what you do? Let me give you an example. Patagonia is a brand. Their message heavily relies on their commitment to protecting the environment and providing sustainable wear for people. So Patagonia launched a campaign called the Footprint Chronicles. And this platform that they used basically revealed all of the benefits and the drawbacks of their process of how they create their products. And this level of transparency really helped take them to the next level because the consumer was able to build trust, and that helped them build credibility. So you can approach this in the same manner. If you have a product, you talk about the transparency of your ingredients, where they come from, where they're sourced, where they're made. If you have a service, then you can talk about your story. Really get into your story. I know all of my clients that I work with that are healers, practitioners, they do what they do because they discovered this modality through a life-changing event. They were struggling with something, they went and did a modality, or they tried a product, and that product or modality changed their life. So they decided to take this, share it with other people so that others can experience the same benefits. So don't be afraid to get on camera and be vulnerable with your past. Be vulnerable with your process. Share where you were and where you got to, thanks to the process that you are sharing with them. So don't be afraid to do that. Turn your camera on, connect with your heart, really get to the center of the story of your brand, whether that's your story or that's the story of where your products come from. Third point, building community. We all crave to be a part of something. A sense of belonging is a fundamental desire for all people, regardless of your target audience. So if you already understand your target audience, you already understand your company culture and the story behind your brand, then you can build community around this because other people are going to resonate with that and say, wow, that's where I'm at, and where she's at or he's at, that's where I want to get to. So there's different ways of building community using social media. You can, of course, create groups. A strategy that we like to use, we call it lead engine strategy. The strategy that requires a lot of engagement. So we have a dedicated person to the account that is liking, commenting, engaging with the internal community, basically going out and tapping people on the shoulder that don't follow them yet and saying, hey, I'm here, I exist. Once people follow you back, then we implement something called a lead hive strategy, which is where we're reaching out to them and saying, hey, thank you so much for following us. As a token of our gratitude, here's a freebie, here's a discount. Asking questions, engaging with your community. If you want more information about these strategies, click on the link on top so that you can learn more and possibly work with us on implementing these strategies. However, if you want to try this for yourself, set aside some time in the morning or in the evening to just go through the people that follow you, go through new hashtags of your ideal client audience that your ideal client audience will follow, and you can engage with people there, comment on other people's posts, like their posts, send out messages. And if people comment on your posts, if people send you a message, be prompt to reply. If someone's there asking for your help, they are a prospect and they're basically open and saying to you, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to purchase whatever you want to share with me. This is my problem. How can we solve it? So you need to be prompt to reply. If you're not, you lose people's interest, you lose their trust. And that is just overall not the best strategy for building community at all. Another point to that effect is community is what lifts everything up. We can't change the world all on our own. We need to work with other people to do that. And for us to do that, we need to be open, we need to be authentic, we need to be engaging, we need to be connecting with people online. So be sure to try this strategy. Make sure to like, comment, follow other people, connect, engage, and create meaningful content, which we'll talk about in the next chapter. Segment number 4, creating valuable content. I know that this is a really, really challenging one for most wellness brands that I talk to, because what do we want to do? We want to be out there impacting people, changing lives, doing our services and talking to people and being engaged in events and out there. But the truth of the reality is that most people are online. And people are seeking this kind of content. So you can think about it like this. This is just a mindset shift for you. You can go to an event and speak on a stage and speak to, like, let's say 40, 50 people on the stage. Great. That's a really awesome strategy. Go ahead and do that. There is a lot that it entails that, like you have to go to the event, you have to book the space, you have to go, you have to promote it, you have to talk to people. There's a lot of legwork that goes into this. Now, when you're creating content, you turn your camera on, share some value-based content, and you can share this video with hundreds of people. Now you're not just impacting 50 people in a room, but you're impacting hundreds of people online. So without a doubt, this is the #1 way of reaching more people at mass. There's so many different types of content that you can create out there. YouTube is a great platform. YouTube Shorts, if you're not on YouTube Shorts, definitely get on YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikToks. Again, whatever platform you choose to promote your content, whether that's a blog, Pinterest, anything else like that, be sure to understand your ideal client first. Because by understanding your ideal client, then you can understand where is my ideal client. Some forms of content that you can create are horizontal videos, such as the one that you're watching. And that is perfect for YouTube, for your website. You can transcribe this video and create a blog, or even write a lot of different types of blogs. Newsletters are also a great way of sharing content online. Reels, TikToks, Twitter, Pinterest. A lot of platforms are out there, but when deciding what platforms you want to use, be sure to choose one permanent platform. Permanent content, what is that? This is a permanent content. I'm going to post this YouTube video and it's going to be there until I decide to delete it. The platform no longer exists, but you know, YouTube is the second largest search engine, so we're going to be here for a while. Then you want to choose other platforms that maybe have a less of a shelf life, like Instagram Reels. You post a reel and basically that reel stops populating and presenting itself to people depending on the algorithm and how many views and such, but let's say 24 to 48 hours. It has a very short shelf life. Blog is another permanent type of content. Pinterest is another type of permanent content. Impermanent content, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, these are impermanent content. And by building a content strategy where you can leverage your permanent piece of content and create and dissect smaller pieces of content, would probably give you the best yield. So if you need help with your content strategy, please feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help you. All right, and last but not least, strategic partnerships. Wow, talk about community. Such an important aspect is working with other people that have similar goals. Of course, you don't want to work with, if you have a CBD product, you don't want to work with a brand that has a CBD product, but you can leverage each other's networks by finding a strategic partner that complements your brand. So for example, if you have a CBD product that helps with pain, inflammation, anxiety, you can work with practitioners like acupuncturists, massage therapists, different people like that will benefit from using your product with their clients. That way you tap into their network as well. And they can tap into yours because you can also promote them on your platform, let your audience know that this practitioner is using your product and you're so happy to be working with them. So you can publicize your strategic partnerships, and that helps build trust, because when people look at that and they see, oh wow, this CBD company is working with all of these people and all of these practitioners that are qualified to do all of these different modalities, they trust the product, and that must mean that I should trust the product too. So that gives a sense of credibility. Of course, you can also talk to influencers and work with them to share your product online. This is a really great way of getting user-generated content, working with micro influencers or even paying bigger influencers to talk about your brand, do an unboxing video. This will give you another level of credibility, and you can be promoted on their platforms, which that will give you a great reach. And then you can repurpose that content and use it on your platform so that you can share with people and your audience that already follow you is, hey, this micro influencer, this influencer uses our products. Try it yourself. You can even collaborate with your own audience. You can offer incentives for your existing customer base. Hey, if you share your testimonial on video, or if you share a little video of you using the product, then your next purchase, you get another one for free. All right, guys, to conclude, these 5 strategies are essential to consider when building a mindful marketing strategy online. So just to give a little recap, we spoke about understanding your ideal target audience. This is really the foundation. So before you implement anything else, be sure to look at that first. And if you want a prompt for ChatGPT to help you develop your own ideal client profile, comment below. I'll share that with you. Secondly, authentic storytelling. Get to the core of who your brand is. Get to the core of the story that you have and why you share the product or service that you're sharing. Share that story online. That's going to connect with so many people that are struggling with the same thing you were struggling, and get them to be part of your community, which is the third point. Community building is such an essential part of growing a brand online and even offline. So that leads us to creating valuable content. Share value-based content that really gets people understanding what you do, how you help people, and why your product or service is the solution to their problem. You can also do promotional posts as well with calls to action. That's very important, but focus on value-based content that's really going to get people building trust with your brand. And lastly, those strategic partnerships. Make sure to look for influencers, practitioners, other brands that will resonate and complement your product or service. And that way you can build your tribe and help impact the world together in community. So without further ado, again, my name is Emilia. I'm your mindful marketing expert. And today we spoke about mindful marketing strategies to connecting with your target audience in the wellness industry. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, as that helps us reach more people so we can impact more lives. Also subscribe and check out our website, check out our social media, what we do. We'd love to help you take your brand to the next level and monetize your products or service through social media. So if that sounds interesting to you, reach out. We'd be happy to set up a 15-minute call with you and explore if this is the right option for you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching.